Hi, Spirits Vessel here, and I am doing the Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising tarot reading post Lionsgate portal. Okay, so I tried to do literally, this is like the fifth time I've tried to do your guys' reading, and I got through. I mean, either my camera would shut down, or the app would just like close, or which was the most frustrating was that I recorded the whole thing and my mic was on mute. So I was like, okay, clearly today is not the day to be doing this reading. Either you guys are not ready to hear this message. I'm not even ready to deliver this message. To be honest with you, I was in a pissy ass mood yesterday. I could not be angry. It was like there's just too much damn fire. And for those of you who don't know, 8-8 is considered the Lionsgate portal. Now, the reason why it's called the Lionsgate portal is because we're in the season of Leo, which is symbolized by the lion. It's a time of massive amounts of creativity, starting to learn more about our worth. It's a very royal sign, and so you start to feel real dignified during this time. We really start getting more in touch with our childlike spirit of what it is that really drives us, that really feeds our heart, because Leo energy rules the heart. And the Egyptians were all about this. The pyramids in Giza are all in alignment with Orion's belt. Which during the Lionsgate portal, the star Sirius becomes in alignment with our sun and with Orion's belt. So during this Lionsgate portal, the Great Pyramid in Giza is in alignment with Sirius. So the Egyptians were all about this stuff. I mean, if you look at the Sphinx, it was definitely a lion before that Pharaoh came and changed the head. And so this is a time of a lot of cat energy. It's a lot of really potent energy. Yesterday was really kind of heavy, which is kind of what happens, if you have a hose and you turn it up full blast and there's water shooting through it and there's like gunk and stuff in the hose, it's going to get blasted out. And so that's kind of what was going on yesterday. So I think probably it was a good thing that I didn't do this reading yesterday. But here we are, and God help me, I think I'm going to do all 12 signs today. You guys are the first. And during this time, the way you're discovering your sense of self is through your relationships. I think you guys are really starting to find your groove because other people are seeing you. And I think it's been a long time since other people have seen you. I mean, like really seen you, which is a shame to me because Aquarius is such an amazing sign. The one thing that your guys' gift to the world is being so outrageous and out there and not of this place, and being like 15 years ahead of everyone else and showing people a way of being different and a different, more forward-thinking way of being. And the one thing that is there's tons of things that are like cool stuff to being an Aquarius, but your kookiness and your otherworldliness, a lot of people, they find it threatening. And they don't get it. And screw them. This is the Leo moon telling you, Leo moon and Leo rising, screw those people. If they don't see your true worth, then fuck them. And in true Leo moon fashion, my hair doesn't even fit on camera. I'm just loving this so much. It's so big today. So let's see what these oracle cards have to say. And then from there, the oracle card will be like the kind of overall energy. And then let's see kind of what the details are about this like overarching theme. So I'm using the Santa Muerte oracle deck, which is super awesome because it's based off of the Kabbalah. And it's a 32 card deck. It's split into 4 parts. The 4 parts are all representing like different parts of creation. So let's see. 2 cards came out. And so I think I'm going to play both of these actually. Wow. Okay. So we have card number 18, which is a part of the cards of formation. They are just the beginning cards where the first 1 through 16 cards are kind of taking these higher spiritual principles and the spiritual alchemy that happens that takes the idea from this primordial soup into this physical form. And then we have card number 24, which is another part of the cards of formation, and it's the final card in the cards of formation. So right off the bat, I'm seeing that there is a mastery happening. So card number 18, that's also a 9. So we have double the sign of mastery here. 9 in numerology is it's like the mastery before you go back to the 1, or I guess the 0, if you're doing it that way, because 0 is the potentiality. So 18 has to do with emotions. So basically, something to keep in mind with emotions is that emotions are, they're transitory and they're impermanent and they're fluid and they're changeable and they're like water. And emotions can be a really good thing, especially during this time when we're in the Lionsgate and we're in Leo season. You get really in touch with your heart during this time, and the heart is led by emotions. Emotions are like your GPS system that guides you through life. If something makes you feel good, you should probably do more of it. So something to keep in mind when you get this card. And again, let's take a look at this card because it's a beautiful card. It's this pouring out. It's this pouring out of, it's taking the sun energy and it's taking, and I always say this, tears, this is how emotions are tangible, because tears are emotions that are visible. So, or physical, not visible. So yeah, you see that the sun energy is just pouring into you. And you know what? This Lionsgate could have been really eye-opening and illuminating. And I think it was really kind of like, whoa, I didn't realize I had all this pain inside of me at all. This burst of energy just really got it all out. And I think it's a good thing. I think you guys are going through a bit of a purging process. Yeah, I think this is all really good, because when we get into Virgo season, you guys are going to be feeling tension, in not a bad way, but it's just going to be this tension of like, I've got to get myself out there, and I've got to do it in a very earthly, practical sort of way. So, excuse me. So, I think, if you can use this time to really rediscover yourself and really start putting yourself on a trajectory where you are feeling like you love what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's like the work you're doing doesn't feel like work, and you can really put your heart and soul into it. I think this is a time to really rediscover that. And then the next card that came out is card number 24 of the Santa Muerte deck. And just beautiful, beautiful cards. And this card, 2 and 4 are a mastery. If I don't have my face, my big ass hair in the camera, then it doesn't get out of focus. There we go. You can see more of the card there. But 2 and 4 are 6. It's 6 is a balancing of energy. 6 in numerology is healing. It's pretty nurturing. The even cards in numerology are all a balancing of the energies preceding it. And so the 6 is taking this kind of chaotic energy that the 5 energy had and making it more structured and balanced and earthy, and it's really just kind of a card of, loving and self-nurturing. So, and it's also the final card of formation, and it's the flux card. And, you know, that this card shows us that the only time that, we can only start to do significant things in the world when we start to understand ourselves. And how do you understand yourself? Well, you got to go deep, and you got to go in the history, and you can't know where you're going until you know where you came from. And when you look at this card here, this is the card of the ancestors. That's you right there. And you are carrying on the mission of all your ancestors that preceded you. And so you're really called at this time to really look at where you've come from. And I mean that not just in your life, but in your family's life, because you're carrying on their legacy and you're carrying on their memory, for better or worse. And this is the card right before we start really taking action upon what we're going to put out in the world. And I think that you really want to be looking inside yourself at this point and really getting clear on what it is that you want to put out there. And if you look closely at this card here, let me get that to zoom in there. Okay. This is actually really great. Look, you're looking in the mirror at yourself. How interesting now that we're in Leo season. Anytime you are in the season that is opposite of your sign, and Aquarius and Leo are on the same axis, it's like a mirror. So life is really acting as a mirror right now for you. Pay attention. Start paying attention to that, and really take a good hard look in the mirror while you have the time to do that, and figure out, what do I want to keep? What do I not want to keep? And look at all this heart energy. Again, this is so perfect being in this post Lionsgate portal. Look at that heart energy that's going on. Look at all this, okay? So really, you're getting a good look at yourself in the mirror right now. Go with that, because I think you actually like what you see. I don't think there's a whole lot of bad stuff. I think you're looking in the mirror and you're like, God damn, I'm actually pretty hot. Cool. Didn't know that. So I'm gonna I'm gonna pull some cards for kind of what we do moving forward. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. And within those two oracle cards, I just kind of want to see what's going on. And I feel like my hair went from sort of tame to now having a life of its own, which is what happens when you have a Leo moon and a Leo rising. Your hair is just kind of, your hair does whatever the hell it's going to do. And I've accepted this, and I have an interesting relationship with my hair now. So Temperance wanted to come out. So Temperance is the card of Sagittarius, and it's coming in reverse. So this is internalized energy. I think you guys, I don't feel like anything's moving forward right now for you, but not in a bad way, and you're cultivating patience. So, and these three cards wanted to come out. Judgment in reverse. Okay, so internalize. Karmic period. We have two major arcanas already. We have the Daughter of Swords coming in upright. So this could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I kind of feel like that's representing you a little bit. And then we have Justice coming in reversed as well. Let's see if we can kind of get a zoom in on there. and card of Libra, another major arcana. So we've got 3 major arcanas so far. Kind of what I'm feeling from this reading is that you guys are getting out of a very heavy karmic period. I think July was really, really heavy. And I'm feeling like you guys are finally getting the justice you deserve. I think you guys have been working very, very hard and kind of being like, when do I get mine? You know, like, and soon. This was all, anytime you have a major, anytime you have major arcanas, it's karmic. And, you know, whenever I see temperance in a reading, I'm always just like, you just got to cultivate that patience, you know. You know it's going to end up being in your favor. And I think right now, you know, I think this Daughter of Swords, I think this is a period of time where you're going through an internal alchemy, but you're coming out being like the Daughter of Swords. So I think there's some work going on with your thinking and your belief systems. And I think you're returning to a way of thinking and a way of looking at the world and a new perspective that you haven't really experienced in a very long time. It's like feeling like a kid again, which makes sense because, you know, whenever we're in Leo season, it's time to party. It's time to kind of feel like a child, and not in a bad way, you know, because there's a feeling like a kid's awesome, you know, like just not having, you know, the heaviness of life and being able to create and do all these fun things. And this card really wanted to say something, and look at that. So yeah, you know, I think that once you're done with this period of internal alchemy, and this is, you know, so far this is going to be the card that's at the middle of the deck. You know, I think this is a time where you guys are really like reconnecting with your roots. I mean, just look at this card. You're definitely reconnecting with your roots, your ancestors. You know, that, you know, if you have guides, your ancestral guides, this could be something along the lines of that. This also just means reconnecting with the family. 6 of Cups is always kind of a joyous time, you know, kind of going back over the past, looking at all the good times that were had. And let's see what other cards are coming up. Ooh, yeah. Ace of Wands. So yeah, this is definitely in line with all of this Leo energy that's going on right now. That camera took forever wanting to zoom in, but Ace of Wands, a new enthusiasm is being brought forth in your life. Makes total sense with all the fire energy. New creative pursuits. I think it's going to be something very emotionally rewarding for you, whoever's watching this. Oh my goodness, yes, Father of Pentacles in reverse. So this is definitely coming in. I think this is something that you guys are starting to embody. You know, this card just doesn't want to. There it goes. There it goes. So I love the Father of Pentacles card. It's a card that is very, you know, I really feel like a lot of you guys are really reconnecting with your family. The Father of Pentacles is it's a masculine type of energy. It is very grounded. It's very practical. It's very much family oriented. It likes the simple things in life. Doesn't really like to get too crazy as long as the bills are paid and there's enough food on the table. That's what it's into. The Star card, which is your guys's card, that came in reverse. So I think there's a time period for you guys where you're really being seen as a star. 1 second. Had to pause that real quick. So I love seeing the Star card because it's the card of Aquarius, and I love seeing it in a reading for Aquarius because I really do feel like this is you guys are really being seen as a star, And not that it's like you guys don't really like want all of that attention, but I think it's been so long since you've been appreciated that you're really enjoying being the spotlight for once, or being in the spotlight for once. And you guys, you know, deserve it. You guys really deserve it. Okay, so, oh my goodness, yes, the Lovers. The Lovers. I love this card. So card of Gemini. So either you guys are falling in love right now, or you're entering a new creative partnership. Could be with a Gemini. Because, you know, if I saw the Lovers reverse, I would say you're starting to fall in love with yourself. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's that process of really taking, and when I see, you know, Gemini energy in the Lovers, I see that as like a duality. And so I would say you're really starting to merge the female male parts, falling in love with that. Because it's upright, I would say this is actually someone else coming in, and it feels like it's creative. So whether or not this is like a romantic lover, or not, this is someone that this is someone where this Ace of Wands energy is really coming in strong. A lot of mental energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of laughter, a lot of just passion. Yeah, really good reading, actually. And then I just pulled one more card to kind of like finish it off, and then I got the Two of Swords upright. So this is kind of what I'm gathering out of this. I think there is a lot of abundance going on in your life right now, and at the same time, because you're coming out of a period where there wasn't a lot of abundance, and there wasn't a lot of abundance for a very long time, there's still these residual mental patterns of thought that are kind of getting in the way, and they're blocking out the sun. And the Two of Swords is always kind of like, you know, in the Rider-Waite deck, you have the chick and she's blindfolded and she's got the two swords like this, and she is having a hard time making a decision. There's two decisions that can be made, and she's got she doesn't want to have to see it. She doesn't want to have to look at it. She's blinded. She cannot see clearly. And I'm thinking that, and she's blinded by her own mental hang-ups. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. You know, that would be the thing I would have to warn against, is that don't go back to old patterns of thinking. If you start to feel like, or if you start thinking that, like, you don't deserve it, or you don't have enough value, or like, oh, why am I the one that's getting all this attention? Stop it. It's because you earned it. And just be careful that you're not blocking out the sun that's trying to get in and give you all this abundance. This is what you've been asking for. This is what you've been asking for. And Aquarius is an air sign, and the air signs can get really in their own head. So stop it. Stop getting in your own head and just go with the flow. And also, if you're trying to kind of get clarity, if you're trying to get clarity on certain situations, I would say, you know, there's too much energy going on right now. Wait until we're in Virgo season, and then things will, or even after the 15th, things will be a lot more clear after the 15th. You'll be able to ground this energy out a little bit more. And I think, like I said, the full moon on the 15th will be very cleansing for you guys. So you should definitely do a full moon ritual if you're not doing them already. So that is my post Lionsgate reading for Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you liked this reading, if you felt it resonate with you, please like and subscribe. And head over to my website, spiritsvessel.com. I will be posting blog entries quite often, astrological ones, if you're into that sort of thing. And you can book private readings for me on my website. So yeah, I enjoyed your guys' reading. It was pretty awesome. And to all my Aquarius people out there, I really hope this Lionsgate was good for you, and I hope it was illuminating. And I hope you guys are doing really well. So I've said my piece. Now on to the next reading. Have a good one.